Sabaho everybody and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to do an unboxing and initial impressions of the Oneplus 3T. Here it is. This is the latest edition of the Oneplus 3 line that came out this year. Now we have the T, which essentially is a spec bump, more battery, better CPU. I'm going to do also a quick comparison between it and the Pro 3 that came out later this year as well, that has a very similar spec list and for a lot less money. This is TK. Let's check it out. The box is pretty simple. We have the Oneplus logo on top. We have the 3 right here. Hope you guys could see that. And as far as just on the side, you see Oneplus 3 and then the T just tells us that this is the new edition. And here is the device. This is the Oneplus 3T. It does have a screen protector on it. Let's go ahead and lift it up. We have this little information here. It's pretty much clean, nothing much as far as the design. The overall aesthetics, if you're looking at them from both sides, here's the Oneplus 3, Oneplus 3 on the left, Oneplus 3 on the right. The gunmetal black is a new color, and as far as aesthetics, you could pretty much, you really can't tell the difference between the two. On the left side, we have the volume, well, this is the right side of the device. We have the power, the SIM card, and we still support dual SIM cards here on the device. The screen itself is a 5.5-inch 1080p display. The camera did change. We went up to 16 megapixels on this one from an 8 megapixel front-facing shooter. Same earpiece and sensors and fingerprint sensors as pretty good as always. On the left, we have the notification rocker, which is it gives us the ability of changing between silent. This is I think all notifications, medium, which is just priority, and then silent all around. And then we have that here, and the volume rocker, all placed in the same spot. The antenna bands are exactly in the same spot again. Design-wise, sorry, let me turn off my Oneplus 3. And overall on the back, again, same camera, 16 megapixel back-facing camera with the Oneplus 3, Oneplus logo on the back. Oops. So we have stickers. We actually have new stickers. Dash charging, of course, never settle. And then, of course, some starter guide, things that we'll never use. And the SIM removal tool. Next, we have a Oneplus 3, a thank you letter from Carl Pei. The dash charger, this is the US brick, obviously since I picked it up for the US. And of course, we have the, actually the traditional one now, since they've gone with red and white for a while. The Oneplus 3 cable, Oneplus 3T cable now, USB Type A into USB Type C. Here I have the Oneplus 3T on the right and Oneplus 3 on the left. I'm running the Oneplus 3 latest beta, the Marshmallow latest beta. So this is Open Beta 7. It's installed, it's running on my device. There is a new version of the Nougat-based ROM, and I'll do that for you guys as a separate video. But before I wanted to upgrade this device, I wanted to do a quick comparison between the two. Now, the main benefits that you're getting here is really many things are in the background, not necessarily in the foreground. And the reason I mentioned this is, so aesthetically it looks pretty much the same. We are getting a better camera. UI-wise, we are getting pretty much the exact same UI. Again, I flashed this clean on both devices, so we're not really looking at many other applications. Overall, we still have the shelf application here. This is the Never Settle one. It pretty much just gives you access to memo, recent contacts, messages, and so on. You can customize that and take that away. We have an app drawer, very much same thing. Pressing and holding takes us into the search, very similar to the Google Launcher. Camera application hasn't been updated as far as the app, but the hardware that has been updated. As I mentioned before, we are looking at a 16 megapixel front-facing shooter here. So let's go ahead and switch over and should shoot up here, you guys. And overall, the aesthetics of the app pretty much looks the same as what we have on the community build for the Oneplus 3. So this is one of the main benefits that you're going to be getting with both of these devices. For the most part, you're going to get pretty much the same kind of software experience as when the 3 gets updated to Nougat, the 3T will get it. Where the benefit comes in here is the built-in storage is supposed to be about 20% faster with the new file system going forward as opposed to what we have in the Oneplus 3. We also have 400 extra milliamps built into the system here as opposed to the 3000, so 3400 to 3000. And the last but not least, of course, is the spec bump at the CPU. 821 to Snapdragon 820, same amount of RAM, same amount of storage, 64 gigs on each. The new 3T has the option of going to 128, but again, for this one, we're doing exactly the same storage. And as far as accessories, all the accessories that work for the Oneplus 3 will work for the Oneplus 3T. Just want to take you guys real quick into the settings. We'll notice that the setting styles are starting to see some of the flavors of Nougat. If you notice with the top toggles here, you have the ability of customizing them. You can open it up. I did put in my SIM card into this device and it is connected via T-Mobile. I'm getting LTE. On the left side here, you see the same toggles. You can customize them, change them, and then go into the settings. Let's go into the settings real quick. Let's see versions of Android. We'll go over here. 60 gigs of RAM, as I mentioned before. This is OS 3.5.3. This is OnePlus 3 02 Open Beta 7. This is community build. And then if we scroll down to the bottom, I see here that the security patch is November 1st, where we have the same thing here on the OnePlus 3T. I do want to mention, as I was turning on the device, it did have an update, and I did download that and install the update. So I'm running on the latest version of the OnePlus 3T ROM. So I didn't want to go through and make you guys go through the waiting process, but that's why we have the same November 1st security patch, so we're pretty much updated at the same level. And of course, OnePlus 3, OnePlus 3T. And then, you know, we still have the same alert, slider, buttons, you know, same configuration, gestures. While I'm in the buttons, let's go ahead and swap them, because I always like to use back this way. And then we have gestures, display, sound, notification, battery, storage. Again, pretty much the same thing. You're getting the exact same experience. If you have the OnePlus 3 and you're running on the latest community build, you are not going to be disappointed. Customizing of the launcher is slightly different, and I'm not sure why that happened. You notice that you have 4 options here on the OnePlus 3, where you have only 3, and that's because customize and settings were put together in here. So when you go under settings here, or customize, I can remove the top bar, so that's the search. I can remove shelf, we'll take that out, and then of course, let me go back one more. We have gestures here where it says quick search, quick quick notification. So we have the ability to swipe down and swipe up. So those are very nice. I like those on Nova. I can change it. We have 2 different icon packs, Riffin and Dives. And then I'm going to go just small, go to Riffin. Let's see how Dives would look like. Well, Dives looks a little bit better. So let's go ahead and customize that here. And here under customize, you'll get the same thing. You can go none, and then I'm going to go Dives, and I'm going to go small. Again, just want to show you guys that we can get the exact same experience out of both systems. And then as far as settings, this is where you get those shortcuts. Switch layout, standard layout, or you can go, you know, simplified. This is very simple. We don't see that here yet, but again, it's one of the options. The shelf, I can disable that here. Quick search up and down, and of course we can go ahead and hit save. So essentially, as if I swipe down, I get this, and if I swipe up, I get the search. And same thing here. Overall, very similar. We took care out of it. The one thing I want to mention to you guys overall, as far as experience, I want to show you guys. I know a lot of you guys would like to probably hear how the audio sounds on this. I have them both connected, so let's go ahead and load up a song. Okay, let's go ahead. I think it was the first one is around 15 seconds. So experience-wise, we're still using the single firing speaker that's downward facing. So in this experience, obviously it's working the best that it can for us. But had it been a different situation with stereo implementation, I think would have been nicer. But again, this is a small spec bump from what we had with the OnePlus 3. So it shouldn't necessarily be this like leaps and bounds. But again, we're looking at better processors, hopefully better battery life as we have it. Not only extra battery, a better CPU to help it out. I brought in one extra device in the middle. I still have the 3 and the 3T here on the right side. And then what we have here is the Pro3. The reason why I'm mentioning this to you guys is I'm running Nova, by the way, on it. This is not the default launcher. This was released recently. It has a 5.5 similar size screen, 1080p resolution. So we're looking at the same resolution of screen. It is running basically front-facing cameras, an 8 megapixel, 16 megapixel in the back. We have capacitive buttons. We have stereo speaker implementation. So it's using the earpiece, the downward firing speaker on the right, as well as the one on the left to create a Dolby Atmos sound experience. So I'm going to go ahead and open up YouTube and just kind of look through. I already loaded the same song. I'm going to first off make sure the volume is all the way up. Same thing. So, as I mentioned to you guys before, audio is coming from the earpiece from here, so you're getting more directional sound and you're getting a little bit of better experience here. And as I mentioned to you here, as we're going through, we have Dolby Atmos here built in. You can customize it, you can change the different experience, the different EQs built into it. Very, very well built for great audio. We don't have a headphone jack here where we only have audio coming over the USB Type-C, but with using the included headphones that came with this and some of the CDLA headphones that are on the market, this has been the best sounding experience at this point, at least from the budget range that we're in. This is starting at around $400, and when it's on sale, it's at $300. This one used to be at $400 with the OnePlus 3, and now it's up to $439. So it went up $40 with still having the the 64 gig model. So let's go ahead and play this one. Now, I'm not going to deny the fact that the OnePlus 3T is louder. It definitely is louder, but your sound experience when you're listening to it, either you're going to muffle it or you're going to do something, but if you're listening to it in a position where you're not facing the speaker, it's not going to sound the best. And not only that, we're looking at mono over stereo. I'm not saying that the devices are better. I'm looking at them from the sense of, look, spec-wise, we have 4 gigs of RAM to 6 gigs, definitely. We have 4,000 milliamp hours here, and as far as the battery, we have 3,400. 3 only had 3,000. We're looking at Android Marshmallow on both of them right now. Nougat will be coming obviously to this one and hopefully to the Pro3. We have, again, 16 megapixel back-facing cameras. The front one is 16 on the OnePlus 3T. And the question is, do you really need a difference between 8 and 16? We'll have to test that out. Fingerprint sensor is on the back here. So we have it back here, and we have dual tone flash, and here the fingerprint sensor is on the front. Again, same thing with the dual tone flash. As far as the initial impressions for the device, I have to say it feels very nice in the hand. It feels very familiar, and I think OnePlus decided to go that route, which giving us a very familiar feel in the hand. Definitely very nice. With the original OnePlus 3, nothing was wrong with the design. I think they just stuck with what was working. The A21 bump, the additional 400 milliamp as far as the battery, as well as the additional speed when it comes to the internal storage. And also we have an additional bump in this camera, in the front-facing camera with 16 megapixels. So essentially you have the same sensor in the back on the front to be able to use for camera for selfies. So it's going to be a different experience in that sense. So out of the box and with looks and just getting it in the hand, we can't really do it justice without, spending some time with this device. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Do you think the Pro3 has a chance to be able to stand next to it? I mean, it has a very similar set of specs, a little bit less RAM, but it has more battery. It has a 4,000 milliamp battery on that device. It has 4 gigs of RAM, 1080p, 5.5-inch display, same as here. And we also have Dolby Atmos surround sound, which means we're getting a better media consumption experience out of it and a longer battery life. So we have to kind of put those two head to head. Android Nougat did get released in a beta form for the OnePlus 3, not the 3T yet. So I'll be testing that out and I'll show you guys a video on that very, very soon. But as far as what we have right now, I'm very excited to check it out. I want to see basically how is the experience changed from the 3 to the 3T, and I'll keep you guys posted. Let me know what you guys would like me to focus on, of course, in the comments below. But other than that, like and subscribe as usual. Thank you very much for the support, and I will see you guys in the next video.